Kimi K3 can take 1,000,000 tokens of context, but that does not mean it remembers 1,000,000 tokens perfectly. The capacity claim is real, the ordinary interpretation is not. So what does the number actually measure, and when can you really use it? Moonshot AI officially released Kimi K3 on July 16, 2026. At our July 22nd research cutoff, the launch was only 6 days old, so product access, pricing, weights, and technical detail were still changing. Moonshot specifies an exact maximum of 1,048,576 tokens. That is a nominal context capacity, not proof of retrieval, recall, or task performance. And the maximum is shared. Instructions, conversation history, source material, tool messages, and reserved output all compete for the same budget. It is not storage, and it is not a second memory system. The next trap is assuming that one number means one kind of access. K3 appears in Consumer Kimi, Kimi Work, Kimi Code, and the Kimi API. But those surfaces do not use the same rules. For pay-as-you-go API access, the model identifier is Kimi-K3. At the cutoff, Moonshot listed 30 cents per million cached input tokens, $3 per million uncached input tokens, and $15 per million output tokens. Those prices are volatile and need a live recheck. At $3 per million, 1,048,576 uncached input tokens cost about $3.15 before output, taxes, cache effects, or quota constraints. A usable request also has to reserve part of the shared window for separately billed output. Consumer extra-long 1,000,000 token chat was associated with the Allegro and Vivis plans. A July 20th notice said new plans were temporarily unavailable because of compute capacity, while existing paid users remained supported. That notice concerned consumer memberships. It did not prove that the API was unavailable, because there was no confirmed reopening date at the cutoff. Main must recheck this before publication. Kimi Code is different again. Its product model identifier is K3. Moderato supports 256,000 tokens, and Allegretto or higher supports up to 1,000,000. Do not substitute the API identifier for the code product, or assume every plan receives the largest window. Moonshot describes its API as international, but that is not a guarantee of uniform payment support, latency, connectivity, or legal availability. Why might a window this large be feasible at all? K3 uses Kimi Delta Attention in a hybrid design. Earlier, Kimi Linear Research helps explain that mechanism, but its exact claims of a 75% KV cache reduction and 6 times throughput cannot be transferred to K3. K3 also uses Attention Residuals, which lets layers select earlier layer outputs, while block Attention Residuals reduces overhead with block-level representations that improves the way information can flow through model depth. It does not prove reliable retrieval across a 1,000,000 token prompt. The same distinction matters when reading the launch benchmarks. Moonshot reports a browse comp score of 90.4 using a 1,000,000 token window with no context management. That is a vendor-reported agent benchmark, not independent evidence of uniform retrieval over arbitrary 1,000,000 token inputs. The broader launch table is not a universal ranking because reasoning settings and evaluation harnesses differ, and some results are in-house or hardware adjusted. So K3 should not be called categorically best. The current API model list calls Kimi-K3 Moonshot's latest and most capable model and lists 2.8 trillion parameters, native vision, and 1,000,000 token context. Kimi Code still uses its own K3 identifier and plan gates. There are also operational limits. Moonshot documents unstable quality when thinking history is not preserved, or when a session switches models, along with context cache invalidation, excessive proactiveness on ambiguous tasks, and a user experience gap versus top proprietary systems. As of July 22nd, K3 was being served in Moonshot products and the API, but Moonshot said the full weights and a fuller technical report were due July 27th. The downloadable full weights were not yet available at the cutoff. That means the claim we can verify is narrower than the headline suggests. 1,000,000 tokens is a maximum shared context specification. It does not establish 1,000,000 token memory, perfect recall, equal attention to every token, or superior task performance. Whether the capacity is useful depends on the workload, the agent harness, the user's entitlement, and the evidence available for that task. Kimi K3's 1,000,000 token window is real. The honest takeaway is not that context limits disappeared. It is that the ceiling moved while effective use still has to be demonstrated.